The truth behind the WoW token. And now, we've been talking about some of the issues with classic WoW and gold sellers and everything. And remember, when Blizzard dropped the WoW token, they said it was to combat gold farming and gold sellers and everything else. They wanted to be able to basically push back against that and give people a legitimate way to buy gold. How nice of
Come
Blizzard.
super rare on me, yeah.
Yeah, they're coming super rare, all right, yeah. How nice of Blizzard to provide us with a efficient way to buy gold. Let's see what the truth is behind the WoW token, according to Marcelia.
Did you know the truth behind the WoW token? You may think it's about making more money for Blizz. And it is, making them a boatload of money.
Oh, yeah.
A yacht of money, some would say. But that's not the real truth. The WoW token is the pay-to-win microtransaction of World of Warcraft.
Bobby.
That's not the truth either. I will tell you why the WoW token is about milking players out of money, giving you a pay-to-win strategy, but also something unrelated to both of these that might even be a fault in the game's design that the company may be using to exploit the players. At this point,
I have to say, the first time I ever felt really exploited by Blizzard when it came to the WoW token was Shadowlands. Because of the legendaries and the recrafting of legendaries and how much things were costing, it was like COVID inflation, but in-game. Like, we witnessed it in-game. It's weird that Warcraft's economy honestly reflects the real world a lot of times. Like, with all the gold sinks right now that Blizzard's launching to try to get gold out of the game, just like, governments trying to tax more and do all kinds of shit to get some of that money out of circulation. During Shadowlands, during COVID, I felt like the prices of all this shit was exploding. And the only way, for the first time in my life, playing World of Warcraft, the only way for me to make actual meaningful progression without just grinding for hours, which I didn't have, was to buy a WoW token. I had to buy a WoW token, not for my first legendary, but the recrafting of shit. Recrafting that stuff really would just kind of weigh on me too much, and I had to buy a WoW token eventually. I fell into it. So I did feel exploited during Shadowlands, I'm not going to lie.
Past any discussion about microtransactions being a scummy way to charge players for extra content. Being under the umbrella of Activision, and with us knowing at least what the public information about Bobby Kotick was, it didn't really surprise people that the company wanted to exploit their customers. Ethics don't really have a place in the free market, although ethics can be something that keeps us humans from tearing each other to pieces like animals. It would be nice for Blizzard to start adopting at least some good manners when it comes to monetizing World of Warcraft, a game that makes you pay for each expansion to be able to own it, makes you pay every month to be able to play it, and then charges you more for cosmetics and services that are made to help solve problems they created with the general design of the game. So with all of this, how much more predatory can the WoW token be, and why is it paid?
Essentially got 3 streams of revenue. Yeah, you pay for your expansion, you pay for your sub, and then the coolest mounts and shit end up being blocked by a paywall as well. That's it's kind of sad. The one thing I've thought about when it comes to retail expansions, because they said they're going to pump them out faster. I mean, we are getting the War Within ahead of time, right? That's coming out late summer, and it was supposed to be like a November launch. And we're going to get the next ones after Midnight and The Last Titan even quicker. Are they still charging full box price? I'd assume so. They didn't change it with the War Within. So that means they're going to be making, more money off of us because we're continuing the sub, but we're buying expansions at a more rapid pace. Damn. WoW's an expensive hobby.
To win.
Sure is.
For people still living in denial, the pay-to-win aspect has only been exacerbated, at least at first glance, by the fact that the auction house is now region-wide open. Let me tell you why. First of all, the WoW token converts real money into game gold and vice versa.
Right.
Actually, it's not vice versa. Blizzard will not buy your gold with real money, but instead give you fake money to buy Battle.net things. You may think it's the same, but it's not, because you are trading your in-game gold for more Blizzard product. What does that mean? Well, your in-game gold is the reward you get for investing actual money, the subscription money, the expansion money, the base game money you forked out for WoW to begin with. It also rewards your time spent inside the game, or your time and money are the price you pay for owning in-game gold.
Sure. I mean, there are WoW gold farmers, or they're not necessarily farmers, maybe, but there are people who do sell gold for WoW tokens to get pay to play time. They pay for the subscription by just farming gold. So I mean, I guess if you play this game enough and you're just a hyper efficient gold farmer, Yeah, you could carry you carry your account with a subscription based on just paying with it with gold. But
So
how
you
many people
use
do
your
that? I
time and
doubt a
money,
lot.
aka in-game gold, to not have that gold anymore, but instead have other Battle.net products which all require more money. The money to own the game you buy the products
Yeah.
for, and also the time you will be investing in the game you buy the things for. So you are trading the time and money you give to Blizz for more time and money you'll be giving to them. It's
The old adage goes, time is money, friend. Yep.
actually fucking brilliant. It's
It
like a
is pretty
never-ending carrot on a stick. But we can scratch that because ultimately you can think about all of this as a means to get entertainment and fun out of your time and money, which is true.
True.
Predatory on your psychology without you being the wiser, but true nonetheless. The other part is the actual pay-to-win bit where you can use in-game gold to buy player power in the form of BOEs and in Dragonflight profession gear. Both the BOEs and profession gear are sources of player power that can
Yeah.
be acquired by someone else.
Here's the thing about crafting. There's always a hidden agenda. Like when Blizzard redid crafting, and now people in game will always rip me. They're like, Sam, you got to craft your gear, craft the right gear for those slots. You got like 2 or 3 slots that are best in slot crafted gear. But why would Blizzard care so much about it? Why has Blizzard put so much time into crafting and making the table and redoing the whole profession system? It's because it makes them money. Real life money. Because the more important crafting gear is, the more people need gold. The more people need gold, the more they'll buy the WoW token. The more they buy the WoW token, the more it inflates the prices of the things on the auction house. And the more the things in the auction house are getting inflated, the more they're going to have to buy WoW tokens. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It creates a need. They create the need and then they fulfill that need by giving you the solution. They create the problem then give you the solution. See? That's why I don't craft shit. That's why I don't do shit. It's not just because I'm lazy and I don't want to take the time to understand it. It's because I'm anti-WoW token. Yep. Now you guys know the
sold
truth.
to you for gold. Of course, you could just farm the in-game gold for that, and that is true as a concept. And
because I'm
here is
lazy,
where
yeah.
my personal gaming experience, my friends and people around me's experience comes into play. Hence, it's subjective, but seeing as how all of us love the game, pay for it, and play it, our experience is likely not unique and at the same time very valid since we are all paying customers.
Right.
But I have never had a harder time making in-game gold to be able to do what I like, which is raiding and Mythic Plus. I'm not saying it's not possible, I am saying it's harder. So what, you are thinking? And yeah, so what? Put the time in and do it. And I agree, but
Yeah.
that logic has to have a backstop. Otherwise, you can justify spending 10 hours a day to make 1,000 gold as opposed to making 0 gold. There has to be a point where the time spent is overvalued for the amount of gold you get back.
That's true, and Blizzard knows. Blizzard knows that their player base is an aging player base, right? We're old as shit, honestly. Most of us are freaking ancient millennials, and we've been playing this game back when Dad was paying for your sub or Mom was paying for your sub when you were 14, and now I'm freaking 33. I'm paying for my own sub, which means I have a job. I've got my own things going on in life. I got a family. That means I have less time than I used to when I was 14 to play the game. So I can't really farm out gold. But what do I have more of since when I was 14? Money. Blizzard knows that. They're like, well, the scales have changed. The player base doesn't have as much time to play as they used to, but they got more money. How do we exploit that a little bit? Well, they can't farm the gold, but they sure as hell can pay for it with that fancy job they have.
Here's how I see it.
Blizzard knows this.
Back in Legion, I was a leather worker on my Demon Hunter. I would be able to make and sell a few armor pieces per week.
Oh, I will
The
buy a
gold
WoW
I would
token for
make
my
would
Lego,
be
yes.
enough for me to raid on a few characters, pay for my...
Yeah, I'm anti-WoW token, but I'm not anti-big dick DPS. So I am gonna pay for it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And the reason why I need the WoW token is because of the fact that it exists. Right? The gold prices wouldn't be this high if there was no WoW token. It is what it is. And yeah, if I want to play, I'm going to have to buy it. It'll be only the second time I've ever bought a WoW token. First time was Shadowlands.
repairs
But I'm gonna
and
have to
just
do it.
enjoy the game.
Time is
Now
money,
it's
friend. Yeah.
not even close. In the last few months, I have spent more time farming my professions and selling things on the auction house and can barely afford playing one character. Now I could be bad at the game, my farming could not be efficient, my expenses could be higher, although I doubt all of these are the reason. We can debate the reasons a lot. It could be the auction house is harder to play without spending hours flipping things, canceling auctions, undercutting strategically, and so on. Those are fine activities, but they would end up cutting into my rating and keep pushing, at which point, what the fuck? I could also do world quests for gold, which is what I am actually doing now, and for the type of gameplay I get involved in, this seems to be the best way to make gold without spending most of my time making it so the least of my time can be spent on what I enjoy. And this gold is fine for raiding and a few repairs. But then we get to embellishments, bisque crafting, and, exceptionally but still valid, crafting the legendary axe. All of these are expensive enough where I feel I need to cut a few nights per week of my keep pushing or raiding to be able to make the gold for these.
Or just buy the
tokens. I don't want to do that. If only there was a convenient way for me to acquire the gold that wouldn't cut into my keep pushing or raiding.
Exactly. It's by design. It's by design. Yes, I am going to buy the WoW token, even though I don't like it. Even though I hate the fact that it has to exist, I do think it has to exist in a world with gold farmers and everything else. There's other ways to police it, but Blizzard's not going to do that. It's just too expensive and time-consuming. So the WoW token exists. I don't like it, but that don't mean I'm not going to use it, because I got to get my legendary.
Oh wait, I never liked the concept of the WoW token, and over the years I have done the best I could to acquire all the gold I need by playing the game.
Same.
Actually, making gold is real fun for me. Or it was, at least, when it comes down to professions. I could level my profession, craft a unique item, sell it, and have enough gold to pay for the crafting costs and have a bit left over. With the current design of professions, that's close to impossible. The design of knowledge points, multi-craft, and resourcefulness moves the price of a crafted item to the minimal possible price, which can only be profitable if you have max profession knowledge in that item with the best procs of multi-craft and resourcefulness. This means that anyone that comes into the game later than the first patch has to spend a significant more time catching up to profession knowledge and generally to that one guy that's been maxed out for 2 patches. The game has...
Again, by design. It's by design. If they wanted to make it easy for you to make money off professions, they could do that. But they don't want to do that. They want you to have to invest the time to make money off professions. If you're willing to do that, then you'll make money. If you don't have the time, but you got the money, well, you know what the solution is. It's a nice little gold coin with a W on it.
Has evolved since the initial concept of profitable crafting and playing the auction house have been introduced. It has evolved where PvP arenas and raiding take up a significant amount of time, are very fun for their respective audience, and not reward you with the in-game resources for you to be self-sufficient. The logical solution is for us to be able to make gold by doing what we like, raiding and Mythic Plus,
they're not gonna do
which has been translated into boosting. But people frown upon that, and I don't understand. How is the skill to play the auction house, flip prices, and dominate a market through sheer time investment, use of add-ons and potential bots okay, but me being really good at Mythic Plus and carrying a person through a plus 20 in exchange for in-game gold, not okay?
Honestly, he kind of makes a good point there. I never really thought about it like that. People who you know pay to get to care, or people who receive money or gold to carry people through Mythic Plus, they're just doing what they do in the game, like a guy who's made his you know his skill in playing the auction house. It's an interesting way to think about it. The only issue is, you know, in things like classic SOD, right, where there is no WoW token, which is, I guess, an issue in and of itself, is because people will just buy gold to get the gear. That was the whole thing with the with all of the GDKP runs that were going down. So I think I've actually always felt like the issue with key carries and stuff like that through gold is not the people doing the carrying. It's the people that are getting carried, because it messes up everything when it comes to inviting people to shit, doing shit with people. And I've never personally understood why anyone would want to pay to progress. Because where's the fun in it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got something out of it. I guess maybe you get a piece of gear or you unlock a vault slot, but in reality, where's the sense of the inner achievement? The kind of achievement that's so deep within you, and you feel it in your taint. That's how deep it is. Where's that sense? That's why I like doing shit in this game. I like the dopamine hit, the sense of achievement. I don't really care to get carried. I say that in my Twitch stream, carries me all the time. But yeah.
And all of these are supposed to point out the hoops you have to jump through for gold not to be an issue.
Yeah,
The more
totally.
hoops there are, the more obstacles there are, the better the solution the WoW token becomes. When you add a legendary into a patch that, instead of just requiring you to be a really good raider to get, it requires you to have a lot of gold to get, is the system the devs design, it's very hard not to think that
Yeah.
it's either a predatory
Fear
system
laugh.
or a really poor thought out system by someone who isn't playing their own video game. If I want to play WoW to raid, I am good at it and can do it higher than other people. Why do I also have to do all of these other things? Not to unlock specific content and rewards, but to just be able to continue to do what I want. We talk about a lot of things that keep the game from growing, from reaching prior peaks of awesomeness it used to have, or simply keeping a good enough of a player base where you don't wait 1 hour for a group to do a plus 22. And gold...
You know how you could not wait 1 hour to do a plus 22? Grow a pair of balls and tank that shit. That's what I do. Yeah, be a tank. That's how you don't gotta wait for things. I paid for AOTC BFA when I first came back so I could get the mount because I didn't have time to gear up, and that was the only time I bought the coin because the mount was just another mount and felt like nothing. I mean, I get it. To get it, it's fine. So I feel like there's always intention. Intention behind what you're doing matters. So yeah, you're doing it for the mount. A lot of people back in WoD did that shit for the moose mount at the end of the expansion, right? Everyone was just farming the moose mount and paying to go get the moose mount. That's fine. Whatever your intention is. I'm not saying you're a bad guy for paying for a carry. I'm just saying, me personally, like, I guess if you want the mount, that's fine. But me personally, I've just always enjoyed the feeling of doing it, right? Like doing the thing, getting the achievement. It goes beyond just getting the gear or whatever. That's what I've always enjoyed that. So for me to pay for it, I feel like would take the joy out of it. That's why I don't do it. But I don't. If anyone else wants to do it, I'm not hating on you. And there's different reasons to do it.
is an abstract issue that seems to fly under the radar.
I always enjoy the
when
feeling
the solution
of doing
is
it, yes.
tied to microtransactions that not only let you be able to play the game you want, but also unlock more player power, it seems hard to think it isn't intended that way. All of these issues affect people in different ways, and I have and still am in the camp of, if you don't have time to play the game, you don't get to use real money to buy the progress that other people grind for camp. And this mentality also needs a backstop. And it seems the backstop changes for everyone, and this whole discussion might just be because I have hit my own backstop. And it happened a few weeks ago. I was making a few hundred files a week with my alchemy and was making a very tiny bit of profit, but enough where I felt that farming my alchemy was worth the investment. Then, as with all markets, it tanked and files
crashed,
now
yeah.
sell for a quarter of the
Right.
price they used to. Gradually, I had less and less gold and had to farm more and more for it. If it was for an ultimate goal of buying the Brutosaur like we had in BFA, I could understand and accept all competitiveness and system designs around it. But I looked over the prices of materials that are needed to craft the legendary and realized the only way I could afford it was either stopping doing keys and raids on stream and focus on making gold,
Yeah.
giving up on my nights of key pushing with my friends for a few
Exactly.
weeks.
Why am I going to do that? I want to raid. I'm exactly with him. I feel the same way. Like, I don't want to do this stuff. When I log on, I want to use the time that I'm in the game to do the stuff I want to do in the game. I don't want to freaking farm shit. So I'm just going to buy the token. Yeah. There's another issue that some people can't do Knight of Nine Mythic except for buying it. Yeah, I get that. I understand that some people are just not going to have the time or capability or whatever to get a Knight of Nine Mythic. My whole point is I don't care to have the Knight of Nine Mythic unless I did it, because then I don't get the sense of achievement out of it. There's completionists who just want it just to see the 9 next to the 9, right? They just want to get the full, they want to finish the shit. To them, that's what will give them, I guess, the hit of dopamine. But for me, I don't care about completing shit. I don't care about doing everything or getting all the stuff. All I care about is what I'm capable of doing. So when I do it, then I get excited. I get happy. That gives me that good feeling. That's what I care about. I'm not going to get the good feeling if I pay for it. That's what I'm saying. But it's not. Everyone's different. Some people do.
Or buy a WoW token. The conveniency of the solution made me realize that other people have hit this point as well. Marcellian has been buying WoW tokens every few months for a few years now because he just couldn't afford to raid, do arenas, or push keys. I used to bust his balls for it, telling him to just farm some professions and make the gold in game. The fool. So lazy, such a bad gamer. Well, it looks like I am also lazy or a bad gamer, or both. Or maybe the whole design of gold and WoW token is the problem. This is not a free-to-play game. Actually, it's a highly priced game, premium priced you would say. And you may be thinking, sucks to be you, nerd. Go farm your gold or stop playing.
Be better, bitch.
And you may be right. And this might kill some enjoyment in the game for me, and maybe that's the natural course of things. But then I ask you, how many people are going to be in this situation before it bothers you? When it takes 2 hours to find the group for your key? When your guild gets disbanded because too many people left? How long before Blizz does anything to retain their players or rewards them for their time spent? And this is but one aspect of what they could work on when it comes to fixing WoW's issues, of which they have fixed quite a lot already. But the WoW token still remains as an exploit for people that just don't want to engage with one system of the game to enjoy the other. This isn't even about not having time to play the game. I have time, dozens of hours per week. I just don't want to spend it on farming gold. Is that a requirement I have to fulfill to be able to play WoW now? Make gold or stop playing? Or, you know, buy the WoW token? It's just a shame because the game cannot afford to keep things that alienate some people, not after what it's been through in the last few years. And I think we are all over predatory monetization systems that reward player power.
Yeah.
On a happier note, you could be playing Shaman right now. Which spec? Well, we talked about enhancement versus elemental here.
Gotta be enhancement.
Watch the video and learn about why you would choose one spec over the other depending on your own gaming experiences and preferences.
Yeah, enhancement's in a great spot. Gotta be enhancement. But a lot of what he said is right. I mean, I do have time to play the game. I freaking stream the game. I'm on this shit like 3 to 4 hours a day. Right? That's just, that's like the time here. And then I'm gonna get on sometimes afterwards too. Like, yeah, I play WoW a lot. I have time to play WoW. But I want to, when I get in and how I'm spending that time, I want to be able to decide. I'll do certain things, sure. You know, side quests, whatever. Certain, maybe I get Fearloth one day eventually. Who knows if the WoW gods will bless me with that. I'll go do the quest line to get that shit done. But that all feels like progressive work, like I'm progressing towards something. It's something that I want to do. I don't want to go back and, you know, pull a bunch of dingleberries off a tree so I can sell them on the auction house and continually do that for hours so I have enough money to pay my repair bills and shit while I'm raiding. I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to spend my time. So, yeah, I agree a lot with what he said, but the WoW token is a evil that we must always, you know, be wary of and deal with.